How you doing, guys and girls? Today we're going to do a comparison between my LUSH Legend X Flex dance longboard and my loaded Bhangra. It's not actually mine, it's my dad's, but I use it quite a bit. Here's the two boards, both very nice. This is the loaded Bhangra, absolutely massive. Switch around to the other side so you can see the awesome design underneath. One of my favourite designs on any longboard. And then we've got here a LUSH Legend, no fancy design on top sadly, but then underneath you've got this really nice shiny wood finish that could probably do with a bit of a polish, to be honest, because it's scuffed and, you know, looking a bit tatty, but that's what they're supposed to do really, aren't they? So this is my personal board, the LUSH Legend. I've had that for a couple of years now. I've got it for my 21st birthday and I've ridden it miles and miles and miles. Absolutely love the board. And then this is my dad's longboard. He was the person who got me into longboard in the first place. He's ridden this a fair amount, not quite as extensively as me, but you know, he still rides it quite a bit. And they're both fared pretty well. They both look pretty well, especially my dad's still looks like new, you know. But today's video is just going to be about what one I think is the better board. They're both good in their own way, but you know what one I prefer, the differences, and why you might go for one over the other. So to start off with, we're going to go with the design. This one is the loaded Bhangra is huge. It's about 3 inches longer than my LUSH Legend, so it's considerably longer. You've got a lot of width on the deck as well, so you've got plenty of room to move around on one of these. In the middle, as you can see, there's no grip tape, so that basically is allowing you to do certain moves. I haven't really practiced any, but like spins, pirouettes I think they call them. Moving around on the board's a little bit easier purely because your feet won't be gripping quite as much. So this is, I would say the loaded Bhangra is aimed more towards the dancing crowd, you know. Whereas with my board, it's just got a simple standard grip tape going across the whole thing. However, I do believe that these are now sold with a design in the middle as well to allow you to be able to move around a little bit easier. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think they do. Second thing to note is the fact that the loaded Bhangra it's not symmetrical. So as you can see, this end, the left here, is longer and thinner than it is at the back, which I say the back, it's fatter here, fatter back bit. Now, you can ride the board either way, you know, it doesn't matter. I feel a bit weird having the fat bit at the front, you know. But generally you have the thin bit at the front, and I think that's quite a big disadvantage of the fact that, you know, you get used to riding it one way, and then when you change it around, you can notice that, I think it's just maybe because you put a lot of weight on your back foot, front foot, and you can feel that it doesn't ride the same the other way. Whereas with my board being completely symmetrical, I'm using it 50-50 all the time. You never know what way you've put it down, so it gets an even wear. I definitely prefer that. I hate having to keep flipping the board around. I don't know if it's just my OCD. But basically, that is one disadvantage I'd say of this board, and I think they got rid of that in the Bhangra V2. I know they definitely got rid of it in the one of the other boards they made. They made another dance longboard, a little bit more like mine really loaded did, symmetrical. But yeah, so that's a disadvantage. This one comes shipped with some Paris V2 trucks and some orangutan stimulus 78As on 80As wheels, which is a really nice setup. You know, that I don't think you can go wrong with the Paris V2s, and the stimulus wheels are really nice as well. I'll grab mine. Mine came with a set of Sabre trucks, and these orangutan wheels didn't come with it. I had some classic 66s on there. Not sure what I prefer really. They're both really nice. I'd say the classics were a little bit easier to like. I used to slide it and all that, so they were easier for that. But because they've got the softened off edge, whereas these are a little bit different. These feel grippier to me. They're also a little bit wider, and they feel, even though they're both 80As, these feel softer. So maybe it's just the urethane they're made out of. Wouldn't say what one I prefer. It's just a bit of a change up really. The Sabre trucks are really nice, but I would say that for carving and dancing, you can't beat the Parises, so I'm probably going to change these to a set of Paris which they're at V3s now, so a set of Paris V3s. As you can see here, I've got some orangutan nipple bushings on there, which are, if you haven't tried them, they're my favourite. I've tried quite a few different bushings, and you can't beat the orangutans in my opinion. Some people say otherwise, but I really like them. They're a barrel, but they've just got a really nice rebound. So if you've leant one way, it just springs you back over. So if you want to change direction really quickly, they're fantastic for that, without losing too much control. So if you can carve deeply without feeling like you're just going to fall off, which is when I first got this board, the bushings that it come with were very dead. They felt like they just didn't have any rebound to them. Now the main differences in the way that they ride, they're both incredibly flexible boards. The loaded Bhangra is a bamboo deck board. My board is the Lush Legend is a maple deck. The main differences here is the way they flex. My Lush Legend has a very springy, responsive flex. Like you feel like if you jump on it, it could almost spring your feet off the board. Very springy, very responsive. The loaded Bhangra is being bamboo. It's much smoother. Like if you jump up and down, it's sort of a much slower. It's almost like a what's the best way to put it? It's like having a really tight elastic band with the Lush Legend. Boom, very, very springy. If you pull down hard, it's going to spring up hard. Whereas this is more like a looser band, and it just chills, and under your feet, it feels very soft, the Bhangra. So that's an advantage and a disadvantage in some ways. The Lush will have a bit more pop, whereas the loaded Bhangra won't have as much sort of spring and pop to it. But that's a personal preference. They both ride absolutely lovely, super smooth. Like as a board goes, I've been on quite a few now, and these are the comfiest boards I've been on. Under your feet, they just absorb so much impact, so much of the little stones and cracks. You just can't really feel them. The prices, as you probably know if you're looking into this, the loaded Bhangra is more expensive. Loaded's quite an expensive brand. Lush isn't cheap either, but the Lush Legend, I got the don't remember what they call you had like the elite pack, then you had the standard. Mine was the middle of the line, which come with the better trucks. I think that was it, just the better trucks, because the standard one come with the Sabre street trucks, and I don't think they're that great. The loaded board, and that was £200 for mine, sorry. The loaded board was quite a bit more than that. I think my dad paid nearly £270 or something like that. And his, I can't remember if he had an option. I think his was a middle of the road option as well. But so you're going to pay a bit more for the loaded Bhangra. I can't really say that what you pay for. It's a very well built board. You get what you pay for. My mate's got a cheap board. You can tell it's a cheap board. I'd probably say that quality wise, this is the best board out of the two. It's got the grip tape's not peeling off anywhere at all. It's been ridden loads. No peel off of the grip tape. You've got this really nice thick grip tape on the kicktails, which is gives you whatever ability you want. It gives you more control on the kicks. Mine doesn't have that. As you see on my one, there's quite a few bits of grip tape come off. This happened quite early on as well. Got a bit of grip tape chipped off there. Sorry, I don't have a lot of room in here. Bit of grip tape chipped off there. The bolts have gone rusty, so they can obviously be replaced. But I think these, you can tell that the loaded board is the more expensive of the two. So you just get what you pay for really. But whatever you go for in these two, you're not going to be disappointed in the quality. So let me think if there's anything else that I haven't covered. I believe that's it. If you do have any questions, what you would like to know, I can obviously answer, because I may have missed things out here. I would say that overall the Lush Legend's a bit more versatile as a board, so you can use it for anything. I've gone down hills on it. You can use it for a lot of stuff. Whereas the loaded is heavy. Oh, I forgot to say that it's heavy. So you can't, tricks on it is harder. Even just simple stuff like simple stuff feels harder because it's heavy. Whereas my board feels lighter, considerably lighter. So, but yeah, if you got any questions, let me know. Stay safe, obviously in quarantine and all that. Hopefully it will be over soon. And yeah, subscribe if you haven't already, and I shall catch you guys later. Thanks for watching.